Wonderful to see. It's wonderful to see everyone this morning. We are called to order at 11:03. Jamie, would you please do the roll call
Sure. Katie Albright,
here?
Shayna Hazen, Elsa Jimenez,
Present.
Jackie Majors,
Here.
Lori Riso, Vivian Velasco Paz,
Here.
Melissa Stafford Jones. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And given the members that are here, we do have a quorum. So we'll move forward with our announcements, and I will turn it over to Director Wong to lead us in a land acknowledgement. Thank you, Director. If you are speaking, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I apologize for that. I just bear with me as I pull up the land acknowledgement. Is not readily available for me here. Jamie, would you mind sending it to me, or?
If you'd like, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, sorry, apologies.
No worries.
Chair Albright, if you wouldn't mind reading the land acknowledgement, that would be appreciated.
Absolutely.
I'm clearly having tech issues.
At 100%, absolutely. Thank you. And I know we have some internet issues that we're all sort of struggling with. We acknowledge that this virtual commission meeting is taking place throughout the unceded territory of California, home to nearly 200 tribal nations. As we begin this commission meeting, we acknowledge and honor the original inhabitants of our various regions. A land acknowledgement is a critical step towards working with Native communities to secure meaningful partnerships and inclusion in the stewardship and protection of their cultural resources and homelands. Let's take a moment to honor these ancestral grounds that we are collectively gathered upon and support the resilience and strength that all Indigenous people have shown worldwide. We are currently meeting here from First Five, California. In Sacramento is the ancestral homelands to the Nisnan, the Madu, the Miwok, and the Miwok people, who are Indigenous people of this land and have lived here since the time immemorial. Thank you so much. I will turn it over now to let's see. I will spend a little bit of time with some opening remarks and then turn it over to the director. So thanks so much. We have this is the last meeting of the calendar year. Looking forward to really a wonderful meeting. Our goals for today are to approve items on our consent agenda, to obtain approval for our meeting schedule and our advisory meeting structure going forward for next year, as well as to take in and reflect on highlights regarding our operational work as the First Five California for this past year, and look at high-level events and initiatives scheduled for the coming year. I always love these meetings where we have an opportunity to reflect on where we've come and an opportunity to look on to where we're going. And so appreciate that. At the end of the meeting, we will also go into closed session. Before I turn it over for more announcements, I did want to welcome also Commissioner Stafford Jones, who I see is on the call.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, I will also announce a conflict of interest. So please let me know now if any agenda item presents or potentially presents a conflict of interest for you. Obtaining this information in advance will ensure that I can announce your non-participation in any aspects of that item in compliance with applicable laws. So my question to you, commissioners, is does any commissioner want to state a conflict of interest on any item presented today? Okay, I'm seeing some shakes of heads and hearing no conflict of interest, so we will move on. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to Director Wong to give her ED report. Thank you so much, Director.
Thank you so much. I also wanted to acknowledge and congratulations to Commissioner Stafford Jones, who will be starting a new position in January. She's been and always will be a part of the First Five family over the last several years. Really grateful for the continued partnership as the former ED of the First Five Association, but also the lead for the Children, Youth, and Families Behavioral Health Initiative, which we worked closely on. Just really grateful for always your open door policy, welcoming us to all the tables that you're at to actually really improve the lives of children and youth. So I wanted to first acknowledge that transition and just really excited about new ways we could possibly partner in your new role. So thank you. And Simon, whenever you're ready, we can go through the slides. So this is the time for our executive director's report. Next slide. So the item will provide programmatic and administrative updates about key activities that staff have engaged in since October commission and meeting in Fresno, which was such a fulfilling and heartwarming experience to be together in person, to be in community. Again, just reflecting back on the last couple of months, it has really poured into our hearts and our mission, and really grateful for Fresno, for First Five Fresno for helping us organize, as well as Commissioner Paz for such a lovely tour of Artes. Again, just has really fueled us in this last couple of months. So as we go into my update, is program updates will include just highlights, and rather than a summary of all staff work, and are framed by our strategic priority areas and our theory of change systems levers. Items will be presented as action or information items later in this meeting are not included in this presentation. Next slide. And as usual, just kind of a reminder, I want to share the status of our investments and flow chart to provide you kind of where we are in kind of the investments that you have already approved. And we also known as the Candyland map. I know that much of what we're trying to do is developing our projects, but at the same time, one of the reasons that we are actually not necessarily taking a pause, but we'll talk a little bit about this later in the fiscal updates, is just a reflection of what our projects should be looking like in the future, given kind of the budget situation that we're all in, but also the declining revenue situation that we're all facing. Next slide. So I wanted to just highlight a couple of things, starting with, again, hopefully you all received the hold. That March 25th through the 27th is our summit, which we haven't held in 4 years. So staff and the community are so excited to be bringing this back for, to focus on the needs of our youngest Californians. We received over, and Jamie will correct me if I'm wrong, hundreds of presentations, and unfortunately we could not take them all in, but we would have loved to. So really just the growing support from our partners and community members, celebrating kind of the 25 years of First Five. So really excited about really hosting that summit in a few years. So we want to make sure that that is on your calendars. Let us know if it's not. We also wanted to highlight some of our data and research. So as part of one of our investments was working with the California Health Interview Survey. And we just had a meeting yesterday to kind of really elevate the work and the importance of the CHIS. And I know that commissioners have been champions of us supporting this over the years. And we are the primary funder of the other questions related to children 0 to 5, really just emphasizing the importance of this robust data system that has approximately 10 million possible metrics that you can actually evaluate. And so really excited and grateful for that investment. We are also focusing on collaborating with American Institutes of Research to evaluate our kit as part of our evaluation efforts. So the other thing that we wanted to update you on is how we're leveraging the Dolly Parton Imagination Library partnership specifically. As we know, again, massive historical investment in early literacy for our youngest babies 0 to 5. We will be interviewing actually the executive director position as part of the nonprofit that will help implement this $80 million investment. And I would say that this investment by the state was after the commission actually prioritized early literacy early on in the year. And I think that I know that it was a catalyst kind of to match these dollars. So really excited about, we kicked it off in the summer with the first partner, but also really solidifying what that strategy looked like. And we're doing that alongside former leaders like former First 5 LA Executive Director Kim Belshé, Laura Fink from Rebel Communication, and former Lieutenant Governor Mona Pascal. So really a great board of folks who are focused on children, on how to make sure that we leverage our investment here, but really truly what does that look like and how do we sustain that over the years? And the goal is to provide books monthly to every child in California ages 0 to 5. So really exciting, but also a heavy lift. So we want to share that so far since the kickoff, 54,000 children are receiving books monthly, and 11% of those are receiving English-Spanish bilingual collection, which is something that First 5 California had worked with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library initially in our initial investment. Really proud of that work and really proud to see how it's possibly scaling in this manner. So we will have a couple more expansions over the coming months. The other thing we wanted to highlight, and it is not in the written documents, but really just wanted to uplift the work of the Small Population County Augmentation. We recently received a letter from the First 5 Association with constructive recommendations on the operations and funding of SPCFA. And we have had several conversations with small county representatives, and we'll continue these conversations about recommendations on operating and funding. Just as a highlight, since 1999, and for those of you who don't know, we've been supporting equitable investments for small county populations since essentially the beginning. And the goal of SPCFA is to support the success of small counties in their work to ensure that Prop 10 is truly a statewide effort that impacts the lives of our young children throughout California in an equitable way. So again, from the beginning to address what I would say that when Prop 10 was written, really kind of didn't kind of take into account what base funding would look like across the state. So really just something that we want to uplift and support. And so we have about 18 months left until the end of the current authorization from the commission. Again, the historic to ensure that counties have received a critical contribution that that supports the day-to-day operations of small counties. We know that, we uplift that, and are looking forward to continuing our conversations with the First 5 Association on the, again, the very constructive feedback that they provided us on grants management. And I know staff are really working very hard to do that and also align with our North Star on an audacious goal. The other thing that we wanted to lift up is something we actually haven't talked about in a while. We actually have been involved with the early math project for quite some time. And so I know in your written materials, again, highlighted our involvement and leading to, again, several investments. And one of the things we want to highlight is actually upcoming math nights throughout the state and a spring seminar, as well as kind of the publications of the early math initiative and what we can do related to STEAM. with our youngest learners. Now, as you know, mentioned earlier, we did early literacy, but early math project is that kind of part, kind of second part of also cognitive development. So really just grateful that this has been lifted up by our staff, and they've been actually involved for several years. The next item we want to talk about is the First Five network alignment. So for the better part of 2023, staff actually have been in a series of meetings. Oh, my video, I apologize. My video is off. I apologize that though I thought I fixed my internet issues, so so hopefully that won't happen again, but apologies if I go on and off video. So really just grateful for the partnership of the First Five Association for the better part of 2023. I've been meeting with the Avo Macadesian as well as President Kitty Lopez on the future of the network. And so we both co-funded this opportunity with an outside consultant to help facilitate what doesn't know kind of the work of the network, what it means, what are the roles of the different entities involved. And the final meeting of the series just occurred earlier this week. And we will be soliciting and discussing outcomes of the work and engagement at the First Five Association annual meeting in February. Again, just really grateful for the time that was spent to really unpack what it means to be a network and what it does it mean to have 60 different organizations work in concert with one another to support the work that we do collectively. And the next issue, the next item that I would like to provide an update on is the public policy. Our First Five California Government Affairs Office has been meeting with legislative staff over kind of education engagement, really uplifting the committee approved policy priorities and agenda, and really just we're all very much looking forward to working through legislative proposal and attending policy work groups to prepare for the 2024 legislative session. In addition to that, we are continuing to actually our partnerships with other state agencies at the direction of the commission last year, understanding that systems change work requires not just one or two entities or not just one lever, but really partnership with our state agencies. And next slide is we're going to actually have a little bit more of a robust update on the media campaign. So we are just so just excited about kind of this, our next kind of local kind of support in terms of our media campaign. We brought back our experiential tour, also known as the First Five bus. It is something that the counties in their monthly meetings with staff have raised up like, okay, how do we get out there? This is something that we did with Talk, Read, Sing. And in response to uplifting that that need or that request is that we brought back the experiential. And I recently was able to go out and at the Santa parade and experience this, and it's pretty amazing. Just really, again, grateful for the partnership that we have had with the local county executive directors who, again, highlighted the need to actually have more experiential, tangible things and really brought back the bus. So next slide. So there are fun. So one of the things is the toxic stress takedown game. It is really addictive. It really is kind of an entry point to how we can begin conversations. And so I myself became a little bit kind of a competitive. I know that Commissioner Pass may have seen this when we were in Fresno. And so what we know is as kids play, brand ambassadors just talk to parents and caregivers and communities about what our campaign is, and it's been it was pretty powerful to watch and see. Next slide. And so they are essentially what happens during these experiential campaigns, in addition to the games and other things that we provide, is that they have talking points to engage with the children and parents while they're at the exhibit, and really hopefully just so parents, caregivers, and adults in young children's lives have a deeper conversation with our brand ambassadors about ACEs and toxic stress and how to buffer against that. Next slide. So since mid-October 2023, we have had 10 events and interacted with over 18,000 families. This family was actually, if they look familiar, they were their real family, were part of our Dragon song campaign with Roar the Dragon, and they were able to come out in LA and be there. So really just, again, this has so much reach. Even the people who have been involved in that campaign, it's from what, what they've shared back has transformed their thinking around approaching on this subject. Next slide, please. We wanted to make sure that we highlighted some specific guest feedback about the that was really, really important to highlight for us. So I'm going to read a couple. I know you have them in front of you, but the last couple of months, we've been able to go out to Hmong New Year's, both in Fresno as well in Stockton. And so this is like, again, for reasons, because I'm rooted in the Southeast Asian community. The first comment is really powerful to me. So this is so important for our community. Culturally, we are proud, and talking about stress or seeking resources is traditionally kept quiet or looked down upon. So thank you for bringing this issue to the forefront and educating us. So, oh my gosh, my video. I am not sure what's going on with my video. I will continue to work on it. So, and a couple other ones is, please educate me about toxic stress. I'm interested in learning more about the resources available to me. This is such a great idea. Sometimes we as parents forget how much stress our kids have. And lastly, the quote, ending with this quote, is, I'm going to send this information to my daughter. She could definitely use it, as she's definitely having issues as a first-time parent, talking about the intergenerational nature of our campaign and what we're trying to do. So again, just a few of the highlights and quotes from, next slide, please, quotes from our parents and caregivers and adults who are coming to experiential. And there's Commissioner Paz and her children. Thank you for sending, and thank you for giving us permission to actually post it. So again, just really excited about this experiential bus, if you will, and really we'll do more of that. So I see a lot of smiles on the commissioners' faces, but really it's kind of, as staff were debriefing, it just brings a lot of joy when we see the faces and the energy of the parents and the community. So I wanted to highlight that. And then the last thing is, after 36 years of state service, Ms. Fernanda Syfax, 16 of which was with First Five California, she is retiring. And as many of you know, she was the one who was primarily responsible for the Kit for New Parents design, distribution, all of it. And so she will be greatly missed by her coworkers, and I know many colleagues in the field. Had the opportunity to meet with her a couple weeks ago and give her retirement gift, and it was just so amazing. She poured so much into First Five and the Kit and state service, and we do wish her well. Just grateful for everything that she's done for us and the children of California. We also wanted to let folks know that the DGS finally was able to help us post 2 critical positions, and we're hiring that have been posted. So for hiring since the October commission meeting, so the research data specialist 2 in the research and evaluation office, as well as the admin assistant position in the executive office to backfill Lisa, who is still handling a lot for me, but also finally able to actually post that. And we've had over hundreds and hundreds of applicants for both positions. So really exciting. Next slide, please, on fiscal. So wanted to actually provide some really great news. So staff have been meeting with Department of Finance to discuss future revenue projections. And we have confirmed now affirmatively that starting in Jan 10, First Five California will receive multi-year revenue projections upon release of the governor's budget. And so again, it's not just budget year, it'll be budget year +3 so that we can actually plan. So staff will share these projections with commissioners at our January 2024 commission meetings, because we will have been provided them a few days before our January commission meeting, and looking forward to really having the multi-year projections for you all to see more publicly. So, and then staff have also been in communication with counties and the First Five Association on the CDTFA Prop 10 funding disbursements, which we have an impact on the entire First Five network. We know that there have been some hiccups, if you will, in when CDTFA has been dispersing funds, and really trying to understand the cadence in which disbursements happen. We, as soon as we actually receive the notice, the disbursement from CDTFA, staff does turn it around in 24 hours after possibly within 6 hours of receiving notice from CDTFA, and really just trying to understand kind of the cadence of when CDTFA and SCO releases checks and whatnot. So again, we know that both the association and counties have the same kind of cadence of payments, if you will, that we do, and really just grateful for the continued conversation for counties who have already reached out to us on how to mitigate or address and understand what that cadence looks like. Next slide, please. And so one of the, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Director, if I could ask you, could you just go back to that last slide?
yep.
What apologies. I'm sort of on a goal to minimize the amount of acronyms that we have and to explain them. Could you go and explain what CDTFA is in particular?
Yes, the California Department of Tax and Fees Administration. Okay, I'm going to ask Angela or others. I think that's
right. That's right.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Jamie. Tax is it used to be the I'm not going to pretend remember what the last acronym, but right now it's the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration.
Thank you so much.
So, thank you. I apologize for that. So we live in so many acronyms, and so here's another one. So anything else on this slide, Chair Albright?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Next slide, Simon. And so again, we wanted to provide some context for declining revenues, which is kind of includes the state's projected $58 billion deficit reported by the recent Legislative Analyst Office and report. Just again, I know that this upcoming couple of years, we've made such progress in terms of the investments as a state in early childhood investments, with the investments in UPK, UTK, behavioral health, home visiting and whatnot. And know that in a couple of years we will, it's really important for us to think about how we can best leverage these opportunities to ensure that the network and the mission, the goals of First Five as a whole can be realized. So for us, making sure that we're working together to utilize current budget funds, UPK and behavioral health and alternative funding sources, just identifying that for all of us and how we can better support locals on accessing that, and as we think about deep partnership with our state agencies. And just wanted to say, and as it relates to the small population county augmentation grants, First Five's received correspondence, as I mentioned, from the association, and we are committed to continuing to working with small counties to find solutions, because I think that the cadence of payment impacts small counties differently than others who are a bit larger. So again, staff are working hard on trying to unpack that and come up with ways to address that. Next slide. And the next commission meeting will be on January 25th, 2024, assuming, and again, just pending approval, not assuming, I should not say that, but pending approval of item 4, the commission meeting structure, which includes an approval of the commission meetings for 2024. Next slide, please. And that's it. that's, and I don't know if you want to just go back to full screen, Simon, so we can close out to see if the commissioners have any questions.
Thank you so much. What a robust report. We're super grateful to you. I wanted to open it up for folks to ask any questions that you may have. And in advance, I want to congratulate Bernetta Syfax for incredible service to our state and certainly First Five. Thank you so much for all that you have contributed to the success and impact of young people and families in our state. We are grateful to you, and thank you. I just wanted to pause on that for a moment. Seeing lots of accolades, and I hope you are watching and in the questions that commissioners have. Commissioner Majors.
Thank you, Chair Albright. And thank you, Jackie, for the update. It was very thorough. Just a couple of questions. One, in regards to the summit, and I did participate in the last summit. Is there any role for commissioners? I assume there's an expectation that we come, but just a question just on participation. Actually, both of my questions are on participation.
Great question. And I apologize, but I don't know what's happening with my video. I am going to defer to Dr. Williams, who has been, and Jamie, who's been overseeing the management and the structure of that. And yes, the hope, is that commissioners will participate in the summit.
Excellent. Jamie, sorry, Jamie, please go first.
Oh, okay. No, it's an excellent question, Commissioner Majors, and we're hoping that commissioners will attend and be involved. We have our lineup for keynotes. And so generally in the past, as you're aware of attending some and being familiar with our summits, generally commissioners can do intro, can introduce a speaker, may want to speak to the audience about stuff that they're working on, whether or not with the commission. So we'd welcome that. And that is next on our list. Now that we have the agenda kind of detailed a little bit finer of the presentations that will be offered for attendees, we'd like commissioners to join us if they're available.
Okay, great. As soon as we can know, I mean, I've made my, I'm making my reservations, but just want to be able to confirm that and any participation. Thank you, Jamie. And the second question is also about participation. I love the idea that the toxic stress takedown tour is underway. Is there a calendar of events? Are there more events coming? I don't know if I missed something, but if there was something in LA, I would have loved to come. But is there an opportunity for that information as well?
Absolutely. And we will work with Jamie Ann and making sure that all the commissioners get the opportunity to know where we're at. And so apologies for not having that calendar in advance.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Hazen?
Yes, along those lines, and really appreciate Commissioner Majors asking when we can come and see what we're doing. I'm curious, and I ask this only because I know San Diego hasn't historically been part of any of our media campaigns, separate and aside from any TV, radio buys, the bus and all of that stuff. Will San Diego be participating in that or not?
I'll answer that. Absolutely. A part of what we're attempting to do is to create a robust schedule for 2024. And we'll definitely update you on that. And yes, we want to come out to San Diego and everywhere we can, relative obviously to the resources, but that's definitely on our list to do. And just to build on what Jamie Hastings mentioned, we're also going to send out, a little poll, the doodle poll, kind of structure, just so you'll know, all of the things that you can participate in or want to participate in, but we welcome full participation.
Great. And is it still right though that for the other aspects of the media, San Diego isn't receiving that?
Yeah. I would like to mention that our next media campaign, we are actually we will include San Diego. So is my understanding, Dr. Williams, that is no longer a limit because And thank you for raising that last year, Vice Chair Hazen, and there were reasons behind that, and so
Yeah.
the reasons
And
are
we had a series of great discussions with the locals in San Diego about that. And I think we've come to some clarity on how to move together, and absolutely, we'll be working.
That is music to my ears. Great.
Thank you. I saw Commissioner Major's hand go up, and I also note that in the attendees, Commissioner Paz is in the attendees, so I don't know if somehow that got changed in terms of her Zoom abilities. So I don't know if Commissioner Paz has a question. Thank you. I see her now joining. Commissioner Majors, did you have a question?
Just a quick question, and certainly not anything to rehash if you've done it before, but I wasn't aware that San Diego wasn't a part of our media campaign and some of our work. Is there a high level reason you can share?
It's a historical reason, because at the time of during Talk Read Sing, it was requested that we not by San Diego to not be in the San Diego market.
San Diego requested it because I think it was competing messaging, or there was a concern about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah, but now that our message is different and about ACEs, there's a different opportunity. So yeah. And I just want to be clear that San Diego has been really communicative, open, and we've been discussing, sincere, and wanting to partner, and really looking forward for the next campaign.
Great.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the commission? Okay, thank you so much. We have a report from the First Five Association, and I see that our director is here, so welcome. I'll turn it over to you. Thanks so much for your comments.
Thanks, Chair Albright and commissioners and First Five Commission staff. Avo Makdessian with the First Five Association. I just wanted to also reiterate thanks for hosting your last meeting in Fresno. It was really fantastic to be in community with all of you, commissioners, staff, and community members from Fresno. And also just wanted to extend a huge congratulations to Vernetta and her next chapter. She has been a great resource, I know, to many counties. So wishing her the best. My report really aims to raise top of mind issues for First Five Counties and the association, and just want to thank you for allowing the space at commission meetings to do this. Today I have 3 items to share, all of which Jackie touched upon a little bit in her report too. I just want to emphasize a few things. The first on small population county funding augmentation. As Jackie said, we have been in communication about some recommendations that we have. 20 of the 21 counties sent a letter to staff and the commission around those recommendations. I just wanted to emphasize that timing is of the essence, as we have been talking about these recommendations for the better part of a year. And we know that the current contract for this grant is up in June. We know that there's an extension on the horizon, but with just two commission meetings coming up for you all next year, we just want to emphasize that timing is of the essence. I know many local commissions are holding off on letting their community partners know about funding until we can get some clarity around what the next steps are for SPCFA. The second item I just wanted to highlight is around what Jackie raised around funding delays. Really, first of all, in fiscal, just great news that Department of Finance will be providing multi-year projections. So that is really, really great to hear. And thank you to the team for your role in pushing that and getting back to having better projections from Department of Finance. It is super helpful. But I also wanted to uplift some of the delays in both Proposition 10 allocations as well as First Five contract payments and some of the effects and the ripple effects that it's having in our counties. I believe some may be online that could give some more specifics, but really broad strokes. There's been a number of delays in Proposition 10 payments and some contract payments that, coupled with declining revenue, have really put several counties in concerning cash flow situations and delays in planning for their own grants locally, and reporting delays both to other funding partners and First Five California. And all of this through no fault of their own. Really, it's just delays from state funds. And many, well, I won't say many, but some counties, I know Jackie has talked to a few of them, have explored things like getting private loans to make payroll. Others have prematurely pulled from their fund balance, thereby losing interest investments that they would invest in their communities. And others can't plan for next fiscal year, which is only 6 months away. So they're holding up community contracts in their own county due to these payment delays. So it is a concerning pattern that I know the First Five California staff is looking into, has been looking into, has met with several individual counties, but I wanted to elevate it here because it's a pattern that we don't want to see continue. And if anything, counties really need predictability more than anything to plan for the future. And so wanted to uplift that, and there may be other colleagues from counties who can give more specifics on their situation. Excuse me. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about our First Five annual meeting coming up, as Jackie mentioned, in February. We are also coupling our county annual meeting with Advocacy Day for counties. It's February 5th through the 7th in Sacramento this year. We are really grateful for the First Five California Summit taking place in March, because we feel these two events are very complementary to each other. And we're looking forward, of course, to attending the First Five California Summit, as are many counties who submitted presentation proposals that I know were accepted, and counties are really looking forward to presenting in Oakland in March. So thank you for coordinating that. We're also really happy to hopefully have Chair Albright and our association board president do a welcoming at our annual meeting. And as Jackie said, we are planning a session with First Five California to talk about our network priorities, our network expectations, and really make it a full group conversation on how we collaborate as a network. So really looking forward to that. And then Advocacy Day this year will really focus primarily on First Five sustainability, as well as protecting other policies that First Fives have approved in the past, including continuous eligibility for Medi-Cal for children birth through age 5. There are funding implications to that policy that was passed a couple of years ago, and we want to make sure that the state is still planning on funding eligibility for our young ones in the state. And we also understand that the state, as Jackie said, is facing significant budget cuts. And so we're not going to be tone deaf to our sustainability issues, but we still want to make sure that we are raising this for legislators, because our county infrastructure is at stake. It is at stake. And First Five counties in particular have already taken major cuts due to declining revenue. And so we want to elevate this to the legislature on February 7th and beyond. It'll be a season of advocacy for the First Five Association in our counties. So with that, those are my updates, and happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, we'll check in soon.
Thank you, Director McDaisy, and we appreciate your efforts on behalf of our youngest residents in California. Want to also say I look forward to participating in the February event. So thank you very much for the invitation. Wanted to open it up to any comments or questions that any of the commissioners may have.
Chair Albright, I think you're muted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. And I think that in the public comment, we may
Yes.
hear from counties in terms of some of the issues that you've raised. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Wanted to open it up and turn now to commissioners' comments or any announcements that you'd like to make, particularly on the advisory committees. The only advisory committee that actually met since our last meeting was the Executive Advisory Committee, and Vice Chair Hazen and I spent a significant time with the team in preparing for this meeting, as well as our agendas for the coming year. So that's our report. Vice Chair Hazen, I don't know if you have more to add on that. Okay, thanks so much. And any other commissioner? I see you, Commissioner Jimenez. Nice to see you.
Yeah, sorry. I had a question or a comment based on the First Five Associations report.
Of course, I went too quickly. Thanks so much. Please.
I wanted to see if staff can provide some context with respect to the delay in payments to the smaller counties. I think that's what the director said. Do we know what's happening there?
So the Prop 10 is something that is experienced by all of us. So kind of their base funding, if you will. Normally, there's usually delays in our July, August, September, October. This year's been interesting. I think it's been a little bit longer than usual. And I think there are a couple of policy changes that have happened, and I don't, not necessarily operationally. For example, and again, this is just me, and I don't want to speak out of turn for CDTFA, the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration, is that I think that they're also trying to, the CSET, so the electronic cigarette tax also came into kind of play this past year. And so I think the reconciliation and the policy around that implementation had an impact on the delays on their end to reconcile. The SPCFA is, I think, on our end, and you know, we are working with our grants management staff about how to streamline that.
Thank you.
Just following up on that question, and thank you, Commissioner Jimenez. So in terms of the fee administration entity, is that a one-time issue? Will that get cured going forward?
We are in communication, and not to speak on their behalf, but staff are calling almost every day to work with them to make sure that that is reconciled. Our understanding is that every July payment will be a little bit delayed because of the changeover in the reconciliation process, if you will. So every time there's a new policy or legislation about backfill, there's just a new calculation that they have to integrate into that. I'll give you an example. When the state shifted over from their traditional distribution to Fiscal, if you will. So Fiscal is, and I don't recall the acronym for Fiscal, but Fiscal is the finance it's the state's accounting system to make sure all state agencies were on the same accounting understanding, all of that. At that time, and we discussed this at the commission meeting, some of you may recall, is that there was a 6-month delay in that, for example. So every time something changes at the state, there are delays. We haven't experienced the 6 months on Prop. It was inching up this year.
Thank you for that background. Anyone have any other comments or questions, commissioners, on the First Five Associations report? Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Director. And then on the commission comments and advisory committees, any comments or questions, statements? I'll try to go more slowly. Okay, moving to the next agenda item is public comment. Members of the public may speak for up to 3 minutes on any non-agendized items or item not related to the pending judicial, administrative litigation or personnel matters. No action by the State Commission may be taken on this public comment, and if you wish to comment, use the raise hand function, and our colleague Jamie Hastings will call on the public in the order in which they've signed up, starting with those well, first come on the virtual queue. So,
Okay, we have Lisa Faulkner.
so much. Lisa Faulkner, you are.
Lisa, you'll have to accept being promoted to a panelist. It's sending you a message. There we go. You're on mute if you're speaking, Lisa.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Lisa Faulkner. I'm the Executive Director of San Benito County. We're a small county with a population just under 70,000. I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to talk with you today to give you a little local context about what this delay means for a small county with a budget like ours. But before I do that, I'd like to thank Jackie Wong and Dr. Angelo and the rest of her team that met with me last week. I think that meeting, I walked away with a better awareness of the process and where the delay was happening. And I felt that their intent was to turn around this money as fast as they could. So I really appreciated that understanding. I also want to thank the Commission for your investments. Our collaborative efforts together have made a difference in San Benito in the lives of children and families. For example, Impact Dollars funded the only family resource center in San Benito. A home visiting funding have connected community partners to early educators for more integrated whole child, whole family services through system change efforts. So we're really, San Benito is a small county. We're really in support of the new initiatives that have passed, so much that we stepped up to be grant administrators for several large initiatives, the Impact Legacy and also the home visiting coordination in the Bay Area. So that was a huge, we had to really think about that, but we really appreciated the money in the past, and we wanted to offer our help and make a contribution to the Bay Area to see that funding come down. And so the good news, I think that we're performing and we appreciate the support that we're getting from First Five California, but I really need to tell you that we have a budget of about $700,000, and we only received July reimbursement until this week. And so what that did for us, we carried about $500,000 in expenses on a budget of $700,000, and that includes the small county. So I think that, you know, we're talking about toxic stress and self-care. There's no way to bring that to my team under those kind of stressful circumstances. So we received our money. Payroll was due on Friday. So luckily, we didn't have to do anything drastic. But I think what I want to say and ask for your support, I know that I know that I can count on it from Jackie and you all to support at the state level. The batch Prop 10 revenue will not work. We'll be in the same situation at the end of the year. And I recall several years ago when I attended a First Five Summit held in LA, and Dr. Pastor left this idea with me that's really been integrated into my work. And he said something along the lines, far more eloquently than I will do, but basically he said, don't celebrate victories because you got good breaks or connections, rather than having a feeling like you want to beat the system. We need to change the system, because I think what Avo so eloquently said is we need more advocacy for small counties, mid-sized counties. We can't step up to the plate and participate fully in these opportunities under the current system. So I really appreciate your time and listening to me today.
Thank you. I see we have another member from the public.
Yes, Nicole from First Five Modoc.
Good morning. This is Nicole Hinton, Executive Director of First Five Modoc. I would like to thank Jackie Wong for uplifting the SPCFA letter and for the Commission for recognizing that letter. And to also thank you for continuing to support the mission of First Five Network, including the 21 smallest counties in California through the Small Population County Funding Augmentation Program. First Five Modoc is the third smallest county. Along with our county and other small counties, we have experienced significant administrative burden under the fiscal year 21-24 SPCFA contract, specifically related to fiscal reporting and budgeting. Under the current contract, this has become extremely cumbersome and difficult to plan for the upcoming fiscal year and for our local grantees due to delayed reimbursements and a lot of work. First Five Modoc is hopeful that SPCFA's future will be more streamlined and conducive to supporting the local work of each small First Five county. Again, I would like to thank the First Five California Commission for all that you do and the significant investments you have made for California's youngest children. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I think there's somebody else in the
Yes,
Corcoran.
Candy Corcoran, yes, from Sierra. Oh, you're on mute.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Candy Corcoran. I'm the Executive Director of First Five Sierra, and I would like to thank Chair Albright for the introduction of this meeting as an opportunity to see and to reflect on what has happened and the opportunities that will come next year, and that is the reason I'm here. Sierra County only has 3,000 people. First Five is the only agency that provides preschool to our families. We don't have a head start. The role of First Five is vital for our small community. Without First Five, nothing will be done for our children. Acknowledging that, I know that First Five has been working on providing operational funding through the SPCFA, and I appreciate that. Without that support, First Five wouldn't exist in Sierra County. However, the last allocation was turned into a grant. Grant has different restrictions that an operational allocation could be, and that has impacted the way that we can support our families locally. For example, First Five Sierra only has one full-time employee and one part-time employee. We don't have any health benefits for our staff. We don't have retirement benefits for our staff, even though we are public employees. I was trying to secure those through CalPERS, but because our operational funding is a grant, it doesn't provide the stability that CalPERS require to accept our retirement and health benefits application. So having this approach to have a grant instead of an operational allocation impacts the agency itself, and also impacts the way that our agency can respond to the needs of our community, because every single unplanned event cannot be paid out of the current approach that the SPCFA has. I would like for you, commissioners, to have this time as an opportunity to make changes. I know that we are all in the same page. We all want to support our families, but this approach doesn't allow us the flexibility that we need to respond to the emerging needs. And also, I would like to remind you that there are checks and balances already in place. We have our annual audit. We have our commissioners that oversee our local budgets and oversee that they are following our strategic plan. And so I think that if we have more flexibility in this SPCFA funding, we will save a lot of staff time in bureaucratic processes that are not needed. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I think we have another member of the public.
Yes, Fabiola. Jeez, there we go.
Good morning, afternoon, 3 minutes right after the noon hour. Briefly, I just want to make sure that maybe I simplify some of what my colleagues are sharing with you all, because it's easy perhaps to get confused. My name is Fabiola Gonzalez, and I'm the Executive Director at First Five Fresno County, hailing from the Central Valley. When you have heard comments about small population county funding augmentation program, and that's a mouthful, and we shorten it to SPCFA, but that's not the same as CDTFA. So for all of us here, I just want to make sure that you're mindful that I want to share with you the learning that I'm having, right? Small population county funding augmentation program. So the 21 counties that First Light California a long time ago dedicated funding for them. And it's in the grant program that they're mentioning to you, and how, you know, just my First Light Sierra colleague mentioned that even benefits can't even be provided to their 1 or 2 employees because it's a grant program. So I think you don't have to take any action on this public comment, but I would love for you all to consider that it could be an allocation from First Light California instead of a grant program. You heard right now that we have audits, we have evaluation that we have to turn into you. I have a staff of 10. There's colleagues that have a staff of 1. And so when you think of like, okay, I got to do First Light California, all the evaluation, and I got to do my audit, and I also have to apply for a small population county funding allocation grant to First Light California. So perhaps in the back of your mind, I just ask for you, as we're looking into the funding revenue, as we're going to our legislators to figure out how can we be part of that infrastructure of our state, help us as our First Light California entity to support our smallest counties so that they possibly don't have to worry about a grant program and just count on that allocation from First Light California automatic to the 21, at least the 21 smallest counties, so that they can do the work that they're doing on a daily. Thank you.
I don't see anybody else with their hand raised.
Thank you so much. Appreciate. And Director Gonzalez, thank you again for hosting us in Fresno. It was fantastic. We're grateful to you. I would like to ask, thank you for all this public comment and the 5 associations bringing this up. I would like to ask the Jackie, the Director Wong and your team at our next meeting, would it be possible to get an update report on actions you're taking in terms of the small counties? It seems like many things are happening. It is, from what we're hearing, it is a great concern, and it would be wonderful to have an update on the partnership that you have with these counties in terms of the fund balances.
Absolutely. And that was our intention to come back, because 18 months, though it sounds like a long time, it takes a long time to develop and have those conversations to execute, to make sure there isn't a gap in funding for small counties. And so on process, we will follow the what we've been set up as information on small counties, and then action and a request, as Alvo had indicated, that they're really timeliness of making sure that we bring this before the commission with any questions and feedback that you might have about the SPCFA grant. And understand the context of now, but also informing what that next grant might look like.
Thank you so much. Vice Chair Hazen.
Thank you. And maybe it goes without saying, but I think so glad that it's going to come back to us. And when you share, I think really clarifying for us the costs and benefits of going to this grant program, what it means for First Five California, but also what it's meant for the individual counties, and whether we should continue with this model.
Thank you so much. Maybe there's an opportunity for some kind of joint presentation with the association in terms of this. So we are grateful to you for doing this. Jamie, any other public comment?
I don't see any other hands raised.
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much. Our next item, and any other commissioner comment or team comment? Thank you. Our next item on the calendar is our consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are to be considered routine and will be enacted on one motion by a vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the commission, the audience, or participants or staff request a specific item to be removed from the consent calendar for a separate discussion and action. Any agenda item removed will be voted upon following a motion to approve the consent agenda. Does a commissioner or a member of the public or a member of the staff wish to pull any item on the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none. I'm apparently supposed to wait 19 seconds on a question on Zoom. But seeing none, I will ask, I'll call for a motion. Is there any motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Paz. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Hazen. Jamie, would you do the roll call vote, please?
Sure. Katie Albright.
Aye.
Shana Hazen.
Aye.
Elsa Jimenez.
Aye.
Jackie Majors.
Aye.
Vivian Velasco Paz.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've approved the consent agenda on unanimous vote. Appreciate everybody. Our next item on the agenda is our regular agenda. Protocol for action items include staff presentations, question from the State Commission, public comment, deliberation, and voting by the state. There'll be a 3-minute per person time limitation during the public comment section. And I'd like to, our first item on the agenda, item number 4 is Commissioner Meeting Schedule and Advisory Committee Structure. I'd like to welcome Jamie Hazen, First Five Commission Governance Director, to present this item. Thank you so much, Ms. Hazen.
Thank you. And thank you, Simon, for running the slide. So this item, Commission Meeting Schedule and Advisory Committee Structure, is an action item to get approval for the 2024 calendar year. So next slide, please. Here's a real quick summary of the item. I'll provide a recap of the October 19th commission meeting, staff recommendation, proposed meeting timeline, commission meeting and advisory committee operations, and next steps. Next slide. So at the October commission meeting, Simon and I provided a historical context on how the commission meetings and advisory committees were held pre-pandemic and how they're currently being structured. We were meeting on a quarterly basis prior to the pandemic, and most of the advisory committees were not subject to the provisions of the Bagley-Keene Act. The one exception was the Public Education and Outreach Committee. This year, most of the meetings have been virtual. The commission had 7 meetings every other month in a retreat, and 2 of the advisory committees, Public Education and Outreach and Program Evaluation, were subject to the provisions of the Bagley-Keene Act. We provided in October a rationale of the recommended meeting schedule and mentioned that there was a decline in attendance on several of the meetings and we almost did not achieve a quorum. We provided the purpose of advisory committee meetings, which is for commissioners to provide First Five California staff with technical assistance and professional expertise and support. And we provided a potential timeline for 2024, which I will go over in a little more detail in a few slides. And we provided what could potentially be outcomes for staff recommendations, such as decreased frequency of commission meetings, but still allowing for streamlined agendas, increased meeting participation and availability, consistent utilization and communication with our advisory committees, consideration of staff and commissioner time and resources, maintaining 5 advisory committees, and allowing ample time in between our quarterly meetings to allow for fuller discussions with partners and or advisory committees. Additionally, you will remember Malad Daljou from the Attorney General's office, who is serving as our interim chief counsel right now, provided an overview of the Bagley-Keene Open Meetings Act and noted a few revisions that will be especially important to our commission starting January 1st. Most importantly is that we will have to have at least 4 commissioners in each location for every meeting in order to meet a quorum and meet the requirements of the act. Okay, next slide. So our recommendation, as we suggested in October, is to return to quarterly meetings on the 4th Thursday of the following months, January, May, August, and October. These meetings, for these months, were aligned primarily with the state budget cycle. So First Five California and our Fiscal Services Office will have more information readily available since it aligns with when we submit fund reconciliation data to DOF, when the budget's released, so on and so forth. Here are a few points of emphasis that I'll provide of additionally why we've picked these months. So in January, we will have the January 10 budget. The commission will be able to review our annual report, which must be submitted to the legislature by January 31st of every year. We also will have revenue projections potentially for the next fiscal year. For May, we will have May revised budget information. For August, we would plan to have final budget information. And in October, we would plan to have our fund accounts reconciled unaudited actuals for the prior fiscal year that we would be able to share. Gaps in between May and August and October and January will avoid the busier either summer months or holiday months, again, so that we're able to achieve a quorum. For advisory committees, we are recommending no more than 2 commissioners per advisory committee to maximize efficiencies and timeliness to be able to respond to issues and jump on a call pretty immediately if it requires to do so. This would be more consistent meeting sequencing, dosage throughout the year. So as I'll show in the next slide or two, we would meet in between every commission meeting at least once, if not more, if necessary. And we're recommending that we maintain the current 5 advisory committees that we are currently operating and that are listed on the screen. Next slide. So this slide is from October as well, but really just gives you a snapshot of all the interactions that we would have with the commission and or the public on any given year, of course, starting with January through December. So just for a few points, as you can see on the dotted line, as I just mentioned in the previous slide, that our annual report is due. And then in between the commission meetings, you will see our legend here that we would have advisory committee meetings to gain technical assistance and advice from commissioners. And we would also be initiating a quarterly commission update or a newsletter that we would provide in between the commission meetings to keep everybody updated. And I will mention again later, but would solicit some feedback in the next few weeks from commissioners to see what folks would like to see, what would be most helpful. And even though First Five California doesn't rely on general fund appropriation, the timeline does still benefit us to align with the state budget, of course, for the reasons that I have explained and as shown on this screen. Okay, next slide. So this is just a little background operationally, how commission meetings and advisory committees would work. There's a desire to hold quarterly meetings across the state. We felt that commissioners and staff and the public greatly benefited from being in person in Fresno and being able to connect in person, and it was a very positive experience. So we'd like to build on that and potentially for the 4 meetings, Sacramento, Monterey, 1 in Southern California and 1 in Northern California. We would do, as I mentioned, the quarterly state commission updates to allow for information sharing to commissioners and the public during the off months. For advisory committees, we would hold at least 1 per quarter in consultation with the advisory committee chair. They would be scheduled approximately right in the middle between the meetings, 6 weeks prior to commission meetings, so that we can gain feedback, refine items and so forth. And we would also request that we maintain the diversity of the memberships across the advisory committees that we have now. And that is that no committee would contain more than 1 member from an appointee. So no, not 2 people from the governor's office, speaker, etc. So next slide. And so I'll just wrap up with next steps, as we were speaking about earlier, is that we will conduct a survey with commissioners to gain their interest in the advisory committees that they would be interested in sitting on. And in that survey, topics of interest for the quarterly updates that we're going to provide. Additionally, if it's helpful for commissioners responding to Commissioner Major's request about summit involvement, happy to add something to that as well, if it just makes sense to kind of have that all in one spot for you guys to respond to us and let us know your interest. And finally, in the January meeting, if this cycle is approved to go quarterly and we're meeting in January, then I would bring forward an item to elect a vice chair, as we normally do, and have commissioners assigned to advisory committees. Just one more comment that in line with how we operationalize most of our programs, if not all, is that I could reevaluate this. We would reevaluate this this cycle of quarterly meetings, advisory committees not subject to Bagley-Keene within a year, and then we could reevaluate and see if how that's working for us, and return in a year, talk about next steps for 2025. So that is it for my presentation. I will turn it over to Chair Albright, and happy to answer questions you might have.
Thanks so much for the presentation and for this balancing of all the many different objectives that we're trying to achieve in this calendar process. I wanted to see if there were any comments or questions from members of the commission. I just have one, and you may not know it. If we were to approve it today, do you know what our meeting schedule would be?
Yes, so if it was approved as requested, it would be January, May, October, I'm skipping a month, August and October, and it's the 4th Thursday. Thank you. It's the 4th Thursday. So we generally, before, at least in my tenure here, have met the 4th Thursday of the month. This month was only bumped up due to the holidays. So, and we're likely to have January in Sacramento, since it's January's right around the corner. Logistically, it would be.
Thank you. I see 2 questions. I saw Commissioner Jimenez's hand up first, and then Commissioner Majors.
Thank you for the presentation. Just another question on the meetings. Do we know what time the 4th Thursday of those months? Are we looking at a 10 to 3, 11 to 4? Have we gone that far?
We haven't gone that far. We generally, even with this last year, knowing that it was likely not going to be the full time, we will hold 10 to 4. But happy to hear feedback if people think that, you know, for their sake of their calendar, if less time would be needed. When we are out in the community, we would probably build in something like we did in Fresno, right? Where the first hour or two is to tour something, to have a partner presentation, so on and so forth. So it could likely then end up lasting the full time.
Thank you. But January, it sounds like it will be in Sacramento.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Commissioner Majors.
I appreciate all the thought that went into this. I think, you know, revisiting our calendar, our schedule, but also I love the idea of the quarterly newsletter. And I will just say this as, you know, along with Commissioner Hazen as one of the longer term commissioners, I think engagement has been something that the commission, we've talked about a lot. And I really think some of these things will help in that. I would also just add, Southern California is very big. And I don't think, and it's part of California. And not just LA, but San Diego and Orange County. And in all the time I've been on the commission, we've had a significant number of our commission meetings in Northern California. I do understand that that's more convenient for most of you, but I will just put my plug in that if we're serving all of California and we are thinking about the hosting First Five, giving presentations and getting to know them better, I think we need to more equitably distribute those meeting locations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to rotate them around the state. You know.
Absolutely. And we've used Crystal Stairs as a location before, and it works out wonderfully for us. So appreciate that. Thank you.
And just so you know, it was not a plug for LA.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think Southern California is so big. And I think there are just so many, and you know, we already struggle in Southern California to have a voice at the Capitol because Northern California places are so close, cities and counties, that I just couldn't not plug Southern California. And it's, you know, but I always got a space for you guys, but there's a big Southern.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
And maybe on that, we could use the model that we did in partnering with Fresno First Five. And are there opportunities to partner with county First Fives in various communities so that we can really learn what's happening across our state? So appreciate it, Commissioner Majors, for that introduction. Commissioner Vice Chair Hazen.
Thank you, and appreciate my colleague from Southern California making the recommendation she just did. And I would also add, I think it's about going to all of these places, but really thinking about how different communities reflect some of our priorities. So I'm thinking about, you know, some of the work we've done over the last few years around supporting refugees. And as we think about if there continues to be an interest, appetite in supporting that community, so we look at what's happening at the border, you know, should we be thinking about San Diego, not just for a meeting, but potentially a site visit, a learning journey to really understand what it means to welcome new families and the unique needs of young children. I look that up only as an example, but my hope is that we can align meeting locations, not just wanting to be, you know, north, south, central, but really thinking about the work we're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. There are comments from the commission? Any public comment on this matter before we take a motion?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, terrific. Is there a motion to approve? And this is what the motion would be, I would recommend. Is there a motion to approve the 2024 commission meeting schedule and the advisory committee structures, which include executive, fiscal, program and evaluation, public education and outreach, and policy? all of which are limited to 2 commissioners and not subject to the provisions of the Bagley-Keene Open Meeting Act.
I move.
I'll second. Commissioner Jimenez second.
Commissioner Majors for moving, Commissioner Jimenez for seconding. If Jamie, if you could please do a roll call.
Katie Albright,
Aye.
Shayna Hazen,
Aye.
Elsa Jimenez,
Aye.
Jackie Majors,
Aye.
Vivian Velasco Paz.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The motion to revise our meeting schedule and the advisory committee structure passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is we've done all the action items. Our next item is an information item, our regular agenda. We have a full topic, item number 5. Staff will present information items and no action will be taken by the commission on this item, but we do have an opportunity for commission discussion and questions as well as public comment. Thank you so much. With that, I will turn it over to Director Wong.
Thank you so much. And we've caught up on our time, Chair Albright. So I was a little bit worried when I was on my ED report. So I appreciate us being able to do that as we honor your time. So thank you again so much for having me. And I hope that everything works on my end, IT wise. This is to provide a next slide, please, Simon. So this is to provide an overview of some discrete highlights regarding the operational framework of First 5 California in 2023. It's organized by department, and this is a non-comprehensive list because, again, this is that we're asked to kind of, as we reflect back in 2023, what did we want to lift up? And also identify as items that we will be working on in 2024 to lay the groundwork for the purpose of beginning a comprehensive analysis of the strategic plan ending in 2024, informing our next strat plan development. And it will also provide, again, a preview of super high level of events and initiatives scheduled for 2024 as identified by staff. Next slide, please. So I thought it'd be good to just share with us a reminder of what we wanted commissioners to kind of refamiliarize themselves and ours with in terms of the 3 following statements that really drives a lot of our work. Hello? Hello? Okay. That drive. Yes? I'm sorry, I heard a question.
No, we can hear you. Keep on
Okay,
going.
I apologize. I thought I had heard a question. So, and the 3 following statements that help orient the work we do here as an organization and as the commission, just lifting up our mission statement that was adopted in 2019, and specifically, we convene, partner in, support, and help lead the movement to create and implement a comprehensive, integrated, and coordinated system for California's children, prenatal through 5, and their families by promoting, supporting, and optimizing early childhood development. Adopted in October of 2021 is our North Star statement, which is, we believe that trauma-informed, healing-centered, and culturally responsive systems will promote the safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments that are necessary to eliminate inequities and ensure healthy development for all children. And alongside that, following that in July 2021, that we developed what we measure matters, right? How will we meet the North Star? How will we know we will get there? Is that we believe in a generation, all children 0 to 5 will have the safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments necessary to achieve healthy development. Next slide, please. So part of the process that was adopted in 2021, I wanted to lift up, or July of 2020, lift up our strategic plan theory of change, if you will. So again, the system levers identified here are First 5 California's, for those of you who are here as part of the virtual retreat, is what we believe to be our superpowers. We believe our system levers are that we advocate, We are conveners and connectors of systems and state agency and resources, and we are catalysts as well as broadcasters. That is what we had identified in July of 2021. And our theory of change is that if First Five California does this thing in our investment, then policymakers will have a response, and then our agency partners will also have a response. And then what does this domino effect, what does this trajectory look like? Ultimately, how does this change and impact the lives of children on the ground? Next slide, and this is a little bit dense, but we will be, next is the specifics about what this could look like. So also during July of 2021, we provided specific examples, and I will not go into each of these boxes, but it really provides us the framework of how this theory of change should and could be working. So, for example, if First Five advocates for federal and state policy issues in a cohesive and a responsive manner that promotes a safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments necessary for children's healthy development, we will then create the policy changes that will create the landscape, and making sure that the ground is fertile, that a system is developed, that it's easy for families and children to access access services that will address adverse childhood, buffer against adverse experiences, and also provide for basic needs and supports for health and safety of children and their families. So if policymakers make changes, whether that be legislatively or in an infrastructure, then agency leads will actually create and fund state and local programs that are cohesive, responsive to systems, and so on and so forth. And then in that way, working with our partners is that we hope that the catalyst, as we advocate, then programs will have include and integrate trauma-informed considerations when developing the programs and funding. To that end, as programs are designed with children and families in mind that are culturally congruent to the needs of their respective communities, that when trauma-informed practices will be integrated at that provider local level when working with children and families ages 0 to 5. And to that end, also help support families and caregivers at home, and they can be responsive and better enhance protective factors that we know would buffer against traumatic situations. And ultimately, the ultimate goal is to ensure that all children have those safe, stable, nurturing relationship environments in their lives. So I just wanted to highlight one kind of example of how this could work in our theory of action. Next slide, please. So starting with the 2023 highlights and following the 2024 preview is that, again, we are wanting to focus on organizational development, the professional development for increased effectiveness. Again, we can apply, again, adopting the North Star and audacious goal, as well as a theory of action. It was just the beginning. We need to actually really examine and what this meant for our organization and how we would actually possibly need to invest in our workforce to ensure that there's increased effectiveness on that back end to fulfill and realize the North Star audacious goal aligned with the strat plan. And our program and evaluation and innovation office is that we know that this is the primary catalyst for systems change. You've already, again, it was highlighted today from our long-time investment with small counties. I would also like to lift up home visiting, and our impact legacy has actually been such a transformative investment over the last decade or so as consideration. Also, we wanted to kind of lift up what I will call our backbone entities, our governance and administrative services. So because we understand developing in our governance office for commissions, for the commission and the organization effectiveness is a key part of making sure that not only that all the trains are on time and running in the same direction, but also making sure that as transitions happen, as they do as a normal course of transitions and growth, is that there are kind of those core pieces that help us stay consistent to our mission and our vision, our North Star, and one step closer to our audacious goal. And also we wanted to lift up our government affairs office by strengthening relationships to new legislatures, new partners, new state partners that has been, again, at the direction of the commission to actually strengthen that muscle, if you will, in interactions with other state agencies. We will share with you our award-winning contract process, again, part of the backbone, both on contracts and procurement and fiscal agencies, ensuring that there is effective stewardship of the money that we have and clarity of process, which we have, again, heard today, which is extremely important when working with our county partners and our state partners. And lastly, you already saw a little bit about building the public will for system change, making the ground fertile for the opportunities to have effective investment to, again, in service to the North Star audacious goal to ensure that all children have the safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments necessary for healthy development. Next slide, please. So what does the organizational development look like? What did it look like this past year? So in September 2022, we established an internal analysis of the challenges aligned with previous change management efforts. As part of becoming a new ED, that was something that I wanted to evaluate, like does form follow function? And so that's what we began to actually unpack in September 22, with the end goal of ensuring that we have we transform agency culture and establish a learning organization that's guided by this North Star with a deeply rooted focus on equity and systems impact work. So we're going to highlight some of the challenges and the solutions. Our actions are listed as follows. Next slide, please. So specifically, there were three challenges that we actually had identified as we evaluated the organizational readiness or development to really apply that theory of change and a results-based accountability framework. Asymmetrical information, psychological safety, immunity to change, and a lack of clear and consistent processes, right? Again, what we had learned was that everybody didn't have the exact same information or had different ways to process information and learn. So we created things such as data visualizations, what we so lovingly call now the Candyland map of where our investments are, now reintroducing the First Five revenue map. Again, understanding that people process information differently, but being consistent and raising up those types of visualizations and information. So there's consistency. We also wanted to actually address kind of how we communicate with one another. And so we began to provide, first starting with leadership, strength finders training for all staff, which will be rolled out. So starting with leadership, and now managers are going through that with their direct reports as well. The second one is, of course, psychological safety and immunity to change. We've had a lot these last couple of years, and really the importance of maintaining consistent communication and action about change. Really talking to folks about new hires, the changes, form follows function. Why are we doing this? Specific actions to addressing declining revenue, like the admin account that we've been so transparent and public about. Really addressing that with the support of the commission and the subcommittees who have helped us really develop and unpack these things. And the third one is lack of clear processes, creating new habitual processes such as really when we meet, are we meeting to meet, or what is the purpose, outcome, and process? What are the next steps? Applying that internally to every single meeting we have, to the intentionality of moving forward the conversation. So people are clear about their roles and their next steps and how to proceed, again, in service to the mission driven by the North Star, and ultimately hoping to move closer to that audacious goal. And one of the things where we're very proud of is actually creation of a governance department and office led by Ms. Jamie Hastings. Really, that is one of, actually, I want to say, like, our team's superpowers of like, okay, so now we have this opportunity to really step back, breathing room, and think about what are the processes that we need to understand as an entire organization, especially in a now majority telework environment. So really critical to actually uplift that, and really just grateful for the work staff have put into that. Next slide, please. one of the key pieces as we lift it up in terms of Catalyst is really our program innovation and evaluation office, where this is where we have major grant dissemination, where such as Impact Legacy, SPCFA, home visiting, refugee program. And so again, the work is beginning to shift towards systems change work. Some of the examples that we want to lift up is the QCC Equity Project in partnership with our our partners at the California Department of Education, as well as the California Department of Social Services. When the community had identified some potential biases that actually had been possibly embedded in our work, we didn't react, right? We digested the feedback from community and actually worked with WestEd to actually begin a journey around unpacking what QCC was and how to really emphasize, lift up kind of the center of communities and making sure that what we were doing was culturally responsive, but not culturally congruent, if you will, looking at ourselves in the mirror and lifting that up. The systems change work that we're underway is you were able to approve this is the work with the Children's Data Network, where they will ground us in really trying to hone in, if you will, on specific population level indicators. I know that we've been waiting for this for quite some time, but we had to really evaluate, okay, what was our organizational capacity to do so, and really just grateful to now have in a very long time, we did not have a deputy director over programs, but we have elevated and filled that position, Dr. Martha Dominguez Brinkley, to actually really help move forward what those indicators could and look like, again, rooted in that North Star directionality with intention of, again, meeting the audacious goal. Part of this is also, again, in partnership with the California Health and Human Services Agency, identifying, can we do something in the fatherhood space? So we've initiated a fatherhood initiative, and we haven't come back to the commission yet with a specific funding ask, though approved to move forward with that research. We were just doing the foundational research, and what we found was the counties are doing tremendous amount of work in fatherhood. And so really just thinking about next step about what our role is at that state level as a catalyst, as a voice across the state and with our state partners. And again, just lifting up the grant data visualization of where we are, which helps everybody be on the same page of where we are in process that you've seen several times in my executive director report. Next slide is the Candyland. And so again, this is the Candyland map. And so I won't go into what it is because we will be consistently bringing this back in my updated reports. Next slide, please. So again, really proud of the Governor's Office and Administrative Services team. So really just proud of the commission meetings in place. Example is Fresno, everybody, again, and doing more of that. And really, we loved your feedback about, yes, let's do North, South, Central, and think about absolutely engaging with local first five commissions on really lifting up what our priorities, what our investments look like to kind of, I love the term learning journey, Vice Chair Hazing. Let's do this together as a commission, but also I know that staff really benefits from that. So, and really proud of facilitation of 10 successful commission and I would say possibly over 10 successful public commission and advisory committee meetings. Again, what's really important is really the identification of workforce development, that consistency, and ensuring that the backbone is in place so that we can ensure that our levers are maximum and effectively used. Next slide, government affairs. We have developed a new and strong relationship with California State Legislature, state agencies, external partners, and Congress, all through the just fabulous leadership of Deputy Director Sarah Batches, who's over Government Affairs. And one of the things we really want to highlight, and we've heard such great feedback, is that she was able to testify before the Assembly Select Committee on California's mental health crisis, and meeting with new officials. And so around the importance of lifting up early childhood mental health. And I know that there was a big win that the association and other partners were able to work with Melissa Stafford Jones and others on getting across the finish line. And just, again, those are just one of the things that we're really proud of. Again, continue to partner with multiple state agencies at the direction of the commission last year, including the Office of Community Partnerships and Strategic Communications. We did that during COVID and have continued that relationship and alongside First Five Association and local First Five commissions. So again, one of the most recent partnerships is focusing on extreme heat impact in vulnerable populations, especially when there were a lot of fires that were happening and what that meant to children's development. Next slide, please. Did I say contracts and procurement award winning? We won for the first time ever Agency of the Year and Most Improved Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Participation. Again, contracts and fiscal are also, along with administration, are the backbone of how we get stuff done, right? And really just want to elevate the innovative contracting opportunities with new contractors. They've been aligning how they operate. Sometimes people say, well, how does this really work with contracts and procurement? They've really been able to integrate that as they provide the TA. Work with our teams and programs, really just holding what is the vision of North Star, what is systems change and audacious goals. Some of these examples include just helping people with environment SCAN focused on fathers and families and federal advocacy representation, paid family leave, and just providing kind of the dialogue, if you will, and holding that space alongside with program to ensure that our contracts and procurement process are aligned with our mission, our North Star, driven by our North Star in service to our audacious goal. Again, numbers is just one part of it. With limited staffing, they were able to process 267 agreements and amendments. And when I say limited staffing, it was limited because people had retired or the retired annuitants, positions were not able to be renewed. And so they are a mighty team of 3, but also have the impact of a mighty team of 1,000, in my opinion. Next slide, please. Fiscal. Again, part of that, the process. We already heard, top of the hour, getting money out the door, it matters. 982 vouchers for payment with limited staff. I would say like there's 2.5 staff there. And really, I am always impressed with our fiscal offices. All of the staff here at First Five California, who really are really mindful of kind of the needs of getting the payments out to counties, whether it be through the direct allocation Prop 10 or our grants. Our staff, like they check in on weekends and vacation time to make sure that button's pushed so that the payment, there is no delay on our side. And we can't control our daily advocating with our control agencies to make sure it's more efficient. They created things like a travel guide for per the California Department of Human Resources to. And if you don't know anything about state services, rules and processes and policies are always changing from the state. And so really they took that on to make sure that the information was accessible to our employees. They've participated in countless collaborative meetings with partners, both internal and external, to build stronger relationships. And again, just really proud of one of the most recent, kind of outcomes is constantly and respectfully working with the Department of Finance to make sure that we do have those multi-year projections that we knew were critical to not only us, but definitely to the counties as well. And then lifting back up, next slide, the funding flow chart that we reintroduced in October, and we'll continue just so that there's consistent and non-asymmetric information that everybody is on the same page about how the funding flow is calculated. So next slide, and is communications, and I won't go into you know, a lot of it because we spent a lot of the executive director time on just how proud we all are of our current communications campaign, both Stronger Starts and the Bridge campaign of the Dragon Song. Again, communications is our broadcaster. They also help convene, you know, another lever they use is convening folks and communities to talk about important issues, again, in service to our mission, driven by the North Star systems change work, so that the hope is to measure and make a difference in that audacious goal. And also as a catalyst and lovely, just to, again, making the ground fertile for the opportunity and innovations. What we're extremely proud of is our our jump, if you will, into new social media platforms like TikTok, which again, I still don't have one, but my staff do. But also really, instead of translating the campaign, we are actually developing in-language campaigns, which is different than actually translating, right? Really understanding the development process throughout the campaign in English and Spanish. Next slide, please. So again, we talked about the Stronger Starts launch, which was just really just a fabulous event. And so thank you for all the ADs who came out to support us in Sacramento at the launch to really center our messaging around the adverse childhood experiences and the toxic stress response and the impact it has on families and caregivers of young children. It featured 3 videos, outdoor creative, just a lot of work. And additionally, it really has an interactive educational microsite that was developed to connect parents connected to the parents' website that we have had for well over a decade, I believe. Again, what are the tips and tools that parents, again, it's, you know, what tips and tools they can apply to really address this big thing that we're putting out there in the world? What does this mean? What is toxic stress response? And so really being able to drive you know, the folks to the website for more information and interventions. Next slide, please. We are just really proud and grateful for new partnerships, old partnerships. That is, again, well, we do everything that is before we make an action or investment, we do extensive research, literature review, and focus groups to make sure we're in the right market, that we are targeting the communities who have been not necessarily always brought to the table, right? Or included in the table. So really, in November, the mid-campaign evaluation was completed in late spring, and we were excited to bring back kind of the findings of this research to make sure that we are implementing our media campaign to fidelity with the vision of the commission in mind. Next slide, please. We talked a little bit about the experiential. Again, that wasn't necessarily something that we were doing at the beginning because we were still doing the research, the focus groups, trying to land on what this message was. And as you can see, the experiential is such a key part of community engagement and convening and broadcasting and all of that, the power in community. So what is under development now is digital content with courses and coaching. Next slide, please. Specifically, really lifting up a micro-learning component that's called Stronger Starts for Parents and Caregivers, that's powered by CellEd, and that will launch winter of 2023. So next month, I know we have a couple of conversations. We've also developed research to aid in the development of future fatherhood focused campaign efforts. Again, really informed by the great work of the counties already. So we don't want to jump the gun and make some assumptions, but really just what is our role at that state level and how do we best leverage this opportunity? Next slide, please. And so really, really just grateful for the feedback and the leadership of those who have been on the media committee. I'm going to share a little bit. I know that Commissioner Majors has hinted around it. Really, the Whole Child campaign is developing a ground up public relations campaign to increase awareness and mobilize community support around key topics affecting parents and children in California. Again, we know that childcare is a current focus of First Five as it increases accessibility accessibility to those safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments, not only with the parents, but a lot of adults who pour into and love on our youngest children. How are we making things accessible, affordable? Again, that is, without giving away all the trade secrets, kind of where we are thinking in terms of whole child campaign and lifting up the importance, the value that has always been there in the childcare community. So next slide, please. I don't know if I should stop and take questions. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Chair Albright, on the 2023 before we hop into 2024.
Yeah, that's a great marking point. Commissioners, any questions that you have, comments, thoughts at this stage? I don't see any, so Director Wong, why don't you continue?
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of my water before I continue. I appreciate that. So just a little bit of the 2024 report preview. Well, we're really just so excited about after 4 years, the summit focus on statewide partnerships with other state agencies, the counties, constitutional officers, and the like. And I know that more is to come about how the role of commissioners in that. Also looking forward to actually implementing the change management work that Arabella had started with us about a year ago. And I think that it's taken a little bit longer because there are processes that state has to follow before that can happen. But we are excited that I believe that we will be starting early in January with the change management work alongside the development of a new strategic plan. So it's 2024 work. Rounding out our current strat plan that ends in December of 2024, and really rethinking or just not rethinking is the wrong word. I apologize for that. But what does a 2025 development, what does it look like? What does the next strat plan look like? Again, integrating what we've learned over the last 25 years. What is our mission? Aligning it with the North Star and audacious goal that was developed after the development of the 2019 strategic plan, and just really looking forward to that. And to ground us in that work, I wanted to, next slide, please, is to revisit the results-based accounting framework that was introduced to the commission in October of 2021. So we wanted to provide an example of the work currently underway, and we've incorporated, so as we incorporate a results-based accounting impact framework to help us outline the process for establishing population level indicators, which, as I mentioned, the Program Innovation and Evaluation Office has been in communication with research entities on really what that could look like for us. Establishing these population level indicators is key. How do we begin to think about SMART goals, actionable goals? What are our levers as we develop program? And what are the performance measures that will align to the North Star and North Star statement and audacious goal as driven by the commission's vision, if you will. So here you'll see how each area is defined and its relationship to one another leading up to the audacious goals. So if we start from the beginning, what is the thing that we're trying to address, right? And then what is the investment strategy we want to apply? What is the clear goal, and identifying that indicator that would really evaluate our progress towards meeting the audacious goal that all children, that in a generation, all children 0 to 5 will have the safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments necessary to achieve healthy development. So, for some of you who may recall that through our development of the theory of change, we identified these 5 audiences that our investments will address, as again highlighted and prioritized by the commission, is that our audience is our parents, providers, programs, state agency leaders, and policymakers. Our superpowers, again, we are catalysts, we are broadcasters, we are advocates, we are conveners and connectors. And we added recently is, not recently, but it's part of our way of how we do business, is our research is a key component of evaluating progress towards this North Star. Next slide, please. So this is just, and I won't go to it in depth, but this slide just provides an example of our policymaker audience. You'll see at the bottom that you will see performance measures related to the specific investment or activity. And in this sample, we've identified state advocacy and the First 5 Children's policy agenda as activities to implement in service to meeting this goal. Our audacious goal. So these activities utilize our advocate lever for our superpower, as we come to call them, and include SMART goal that informs policymakers on the impact of ACEs on child health and development. Hence, lifting up the opportunity to testify at a select committee on early children's mental health, and really highlighting the impact of trauma and ACEs. The SMART goal will address the population level indicator that identifies the percentage of children birthed through age 5 who have experienced 2 or more ACEs. Again, just identifying and whether or not, like, again, that's the strategy as we talk to policymakers and really educating them about adverse childhood experiences. And how do you really from where they sit, what are the conditions that can change through legislation or influence to create the conditions to move us closer to ensuring that all children 0 to 5 have the SSNREs necessary for healthy development. Next slide. So this slide provides another example using our parents and caregivers audience. So beginning at the bottom, you'll see performance measures related to specific investment activity. In this sample, we identified the Kit for New Parents and the media campaign as activities. So these activities utilize our broadcaster lever and include a SMART goal that informs parents and caregivers on the impact of ACEs on child and health development, as you've seen throughout our Stronger Starts campaign. The SMART goal will address the population level indicator that identifies the percentage of children birthed through age 5 who have experienced 2 or more ACEs. So what is percentage? Is it reduced? Is it an awareness? So again, just a couple of examples of how we envisioned the RBA framework to be applied. So next slide, please. So for now into the meat. So in 2024, the Program and Innovation Evaluation Office is developing programmatic efforts. So efforts developing a strategy and efforts to support the First 5 California pillars and respective indicators. Really just excited. Again, how do we really operationalize our RBA framework in everything we do? How do we understand our role, who our target audiences? An example of this is a Begin Transformative Early Learning and Care Equitable System Strategies for Quality Counts California, right? Taking us through that journey of, again, the community had indicated to us some blind spots that we may have had. We did some research, we made an initial investment in our Impact 2020, and then in our Impact Legacy, we begin to have the transformative conversations about long-term systems change strategies that is rooted in addressing kind of the challenges of the equity challenges that are possibly faced in early learning and care situations. The PI office will also be finalizing these indicators and prototype early for an early childhood data dashboard. I know many of you who were part of, at the time, our strategic subcommittee that I know this has been a long time coming, but again, we had to do the necessary research, understand that we had the necessary internal resources at the time, given all the transitions to move this forward, but definitely staff are extremely excited to begin work and break ground, if that's the correct terminology, on this effort. I know that they've been talking to some folks about it. And so we are really just excited about that opportunity. The next is a behavioral health strategy that will be finalized and implemented. I know that this is, again, trying to be in alignment with the Children's Youth and Behavioral Health Initiative and how we will implement that. And you will receive updates on the Fatherhood Initiative, as we've lifted up several times. And as we get more clear on the California State Librarians Dolly Parton Imagination Library investment, which we are deeply involved in, again, because we were the seed funders of Dolly Parton Imagination Library and early literacy, really just excited about what that could look like and what the PEARLS RFA, so that is the early literacy grant funding that you authorized to do. So again, how do we do that in collaboration, leveraging what is already a large state investment in early literacy? Next slide, please. As mentioned before, we are the Child Health Summit. We are continuing on with commission proceedings and facilitating what I love as what Commissioner Majors lifts up, meaningful participation in person by commissioners, because we've heard that for a bit of how do we truly engage your expertise in development in these different forms that we have in the commission. Next slide, please. Lifting up, and here's a link. We will be sending this out to you and afterwards, but there's a link to our 2024 Young Children's Policy Agenda that I think has been shared with the commission and attachments prior. That will guide our work of our office as there's a new legislative and budget process begins, and we continue to deepen our relationships with the legislative arms, the governor's office, Congress, other state agencies, stakeholders, and partners. Again, just being able to actually have clarity, and I'm grateful to our EGA team on landing on this 2024 policy agenda, and really excited about what that could look like with that clarity of the agenda and streamlining it. Next slide, please. Contracts will continue to update the process and procedures manuals, because that matters. Again, that third challenge that we saw is like clarity on process to make sure everybody is on the same page. And this is really exciting. Again, did I say that what does contracts have to do with the North Star and equity? Continue to provide contracting services to develop new and innovative scopes of work that's rooted in diversity, inclusivity, and equitable scopes of work. So, and again, just really grateful for the team to actually really integrate that into a process and office that a lot of times people think, oh, that they're after the fact, but no, they as part of our core backbone, being able to integrate that in the services and procurement processes has been a tremendous, and that's why they won an award that is targeted for small businesses and vets. So really want to lift that up, and we will continue to complete compliance training with control agencies, CalRecycle, DGS, and the like. So at the end of the day, we are all beholden to our control, we are beholden to our control agencies and the rules that they set forth for us. Next slide. In 2024, the Fiscal Services Office will continue to streamline the department's financial plan to display program funding allocations more easily and more understandably. Again, understanding that people digest data differently. I'm a little bit of a data nerd, but somebody gave me online yesterday, actually a data diva. Is that, again, how do we convey information differently on our fiscal situation and what that looks like? So think about different ways to display the data so it's digestible and understanding to inform the commission and the public about what is really happening with our funds, where is it obligated, and so on and so forth. And we want to explore and develop a digital submission of travel reimbursement process to replace paper submissions. We are trying to reduce, again, being mindful of climate change and making sure that we begin to have more digital submissions and less paper, if you will, as we move on with these processes. The state has always been heavily reliant on paper. And so I think, again, in a telework environment, it's really important to think about these more effective ways to do business as a core part of, again, our backbone with our CPO and our admin offices. Again, they are the folks who keep the lights on, make sure that the doors open, and I would say also the IT office as well. They are the ones who keep things going so that we can actually be out there in partnership with our counties and our communities and our state agents. So really grateful for that work. Next slide. please. We already went through this, is a little bit about continuing our Whole Child campaign, our Father First initiative, and continue to implement our Stronger Starts Wave 2 media campaign that was just released or in the middle of development. Really just excited about the opportunity to, I think I can share this without kind of sharing too many trade secrets. And Angela, you will mute me, or Sada, you will mute me, is that we are able to actually include a couple more of our Stronger Starts ads in AAPI languages that were not initially contemplated at the beginning because of affordability. So really in development right now to really target Asian American and Pacific Islander communities in language, if you will. So next slide, please. Again, this is just a reminder of our theory of action adopted in 2021 that we in 2024 really want to revisit and double down on. So we'll go through a process to concretely apply the theory of change, which will include identifying strategic indicators to measure progress, and a way for us, whether it be the newsletter or the quarterly or in person or both, about where we are in process with all of our investments. Again, as a reminder, really proud of our system lovers as advocates, conveners, connectors, catalysts, catalysts / the researchers and broadcasters. And to kind of just lift up, and that is the NCAF of, again, our focus is on 23 and 24 is increasing effectiveness in organizational development, our program and evaluation office, our backbones, our administrative services office, procurement and fiscal offices that are just, again, a core part, the key part to making sure that we operate in a way that makes sense to the public, but also internally. And very important, our government affairs, external affairs office and communications is how do we really deepen our relationships and our partnerships with other state agencies, legislators, governor's office, the counties. So that is it. I am ready for questions.
Wow, thank you so much. That was so exciting to see where we've been and where we are going. I very much also appreciate the SMART goals. I'm gonna open it up to the commissioners for any comments or questions or feedback on this. The deck will be available.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'd love to sort of take a deeper dive on some of the issues that were raised. I see Commissioner Majors.
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you. This was a really great overview of some of the things that I forgot we were doing, or, this was just really good as you were going through this. And I don't really have any questions other than I just really wanted to acknowledge that. But because you guys know it's so important to me, I did want to highlight just the fatherhood initiative and some of that work. It sounds like you guys did some sort of research or evaluation to see what the state has. Do we have access to that information? Because I'm loving spearheading some of this work in Southern Cal and really across the state, but I would just love to hear some of your findings if that's shareable information.
Dr. Williams.
Commissioner Majors, thank you for that. Yes, absolutely. Our goal is to create an information item for January, which will reveal all of the contents of the report, all of the early investments, smaller investments that we've made in support, for instance, of the Alameda Fathers Corps and others. So yes, you will be able to review all of that. I will send the PowerPoint and the actual physical report, so you'll be able to see it as well.
Great, fantastic. I thought it was a great overview. Thanks, Jackie.
I have forgotten all the work that we had put into some of this stuff.
I see Commissioner Stafford Jones and Commissioner Hazen have comments.
Thanks so much, Chair Albright, and thank you, Director Wong, for the report. Two just comments of maybe shared work opportunities and one question. So on some of your sharing about data, results-based accountability, the early childhood data dashboard. In the Children Youth Behavioral Health Initiative, we're also working on developing a results-based accountability framework, as you know, and so just opening that up to the possibility of if there are any opportunities for alignment to explore as we continue that work and you continue that work. And I think, as you know, we've set 15 sort of long-term outcomes objectives for the Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative. So maybe there are some that have some alignment. So maybe some opportunity to explore that. And then also beyond the Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative across the California Health and Human Services Agency, there is increased work happening around data integration, use of data for really focusing on equity, use of data dashboards, including through our Center for Data Insights and Innovation, CDII. And so as you're developing your data dashboard, also just wonder if there's maybe some broader opportunity for sharing and exploration of where there might be alignment with some of the work that CalHHS is doing through CDII and many of the partners it's working with at both the state and local level. So just opening up those possibilities maybe. And then I had a question, and you mentioned the work with the California State Library on the Dolly Parton Library work. I was also just curious if there's been any opportunity either directly through that or sort of in parallel with the California State Library around the Stop the Hate program work that they're doing. We've had some opportunity to engage with them through the Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative, just given that we know for both children and families, some of the issues that are occurring in that space are very, very harmful to families and mental health and well-being. And I was just curious if that had come up in the early childhood and family context.
It has, so Stop the Hate has not, we've been focused on the implementation of the 80 million, but they had mentioned just in just checking conversations they were doing. And I think that is a really great suggestion for us to be more intentional about their broadcasting of kind of equity and how do you address that. So thank you for that. Really grateful for to be at the table also for CYBHI, and as they said RBA, I was one of the few people who said yes, we know what that is. And so it just seems like the stars are aligned, if you will, with there, and then would love to see if we can make a connection with CDII specifically on any of those efforts, if that's okay for it to ask before you go. So, but you're going to be always with us, so I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, Vice Chair Hazen.
Thank you. So I have comments, I think, aligned with what we heard from both other commissioners. So the first is really appreciate seeing all of the work we're doing. And I think as we think about this new quarterly newsletter, being able to see this kind of information more frequently is going to be really great because it's a lot to keep track of. And you all are doing it day in and day out. But I think for us, or at least speak for myself, for me to be able to know on a much more regular basis all the work that's happening will be helpful. And the other thing I'm excited about is this, I don't want to say return to results-based accountability, but it was something, I don't even know, Jackie, how long ago we had started talking about it, a couple of years.
July 2021.
Okay. So, and it's been lingering in the back of my head and probably yours. So I'm glad that, we are sort of recentering, refocusing around the North Star and all of the groundwork, I think important, productive work that happened, but that was laid back then to really figure out what this results-based accountability piece is going to look like. So I think that's going to be really important. So it took us a little while, but glad we are back there.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate what you just said, Vice Chair Hazen, around the newsletter and that opportunity to align even just the structure and the newsletter around those different goals and SMART goals that you have, just so we can see how each one is progressing is helpful.
just add just a quick thought on that, right? So for that quarterly update, thinking about all the audiences for whom it would be helpful, right? I think initially, when we spoke about it a couple items ago, was about so that commissioners stay up to speed and in the loop, but presumably, it's helpful maybe to legislators, to partner, for everybody who needs to know what we're doing.
Terrific. Other comments, questions, thoughts? Okay, thank you so much. Is there any public comment?
I don't see any hands raised right now.
Okay, well, that may be coming online. I'm not sure this is entirely within the scope of this agenda item, but let me just comment because I wanted to go back to something that Commissioner Majors said in terms of meeting locations. I did notice that the summit and the associations conference are both in Northern California, in Sacramento and Oakland, in addition to this first meeting. So it would be so great to do the other 3 meetings of next year in Southern California, Imperial Valley, Central Valley. So just wanted to
Thank you.
note back on that comment. Any other feedback, comments? Yes, Commissioner Majors.
Chair Albright, thank you for lifting that up again. And I just wanted to say that I hear often just from Southern Cal folks, and I spent a lot of time in San Diego, just the desire to be more engaged in some of the work that we're doing as a California Commission. So I think that recommendation is great. And I just appreciate us keeping our eye on that.
And I do, getting back to the agenda item that we have, when we think about the work for next year and these SMART goals, I do think that there is some really important alignment that's happening in different jurisdictions around where these are. So maybe Director Wong and Dr. Williams, there's some opportunities. I'm saying what Vice Chair Hazen said, but maybe there's some opportunities when we go into various parts in California is to rise up those goals, and we can see specifically how those numbers and the data really achieve the outcomes, and be able to have that anecdotal experience as well. You are
the mission moments.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Mission moments.
Mission moment, and then the opportunity for us to really think together about how to move to impact. Thank you. Not only are we, I think, at the end of this agenda item, but I think we are also on time. So let me just check my calendar to see if that is the case.
We are 7 minutes early, Chair Albright.
I'm going to just see if there's any other agenda items. Any other, I just lost, sorry, you guys, I just lost my annotated agenda. Jamie, where are we? What should we
Yeah,
do?
we're complete with our items, and I will just offer a comment to your suggestion of knowing that the associations and our summit is in Oakland, Sacramento-ish, if you will. And so we can look into exploring the opportunity to go to Southern California, LA, somewhere in that general area for January.
Oh, okay.
If the commission would like that.
Can we talk about that now?
Sure.
It would, is the preference of the commission to go somewhere other than Northern California for January or for the rest of the year?
This is Commissioner Jimenez. I have another board meeting in my county until like 5 o'clock that Wednesday before. So drive 3 hours, fly to an hour and a half. I guess we would just need to know what time on Thursday I'd have to be and where.
Can I also offer that The requirement is for people to be in person, though we prefer all. And so those who cannot can still do virtual and not have to disclose where they're all. That's the new rule, right? So same location for 4 of you, but the rest can be virtual. So that we can try to work something out. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that, Director Wong. Reminder, I may have to be virtual that Thursday then.
Okay, well, why don't we do this? We can, I think scheduling, we can take offline and the team can think about it. I also want to be sensitive to our first 5 partners in terms of their ability to really be able to, if we were doing something, to host a night. So you'll let us know, but hopefully you can let us know in the next short period of time so we can calendar our various other commitments.
And for me, I'm in the middle, so either way is fine. So
Terrific. Thank you.
If I can just say though, we have to go with strategy and equity. Either we're gonna, I think every time we're all such busy folks, and I think we're all on a lot of different committees. So I think once the team comes together and really determines how to more strategically align our location and provide equity, I think, we can all figure it out.
Thank you. Terrific. And appreciates everyone's flexibility in these calendaring items. So we are now at the end of our agenda, and I've gotten the annotated one up, so thank you for that. We have no public comment, so we are going to take a break until 2 p.m. At that point, we're going to go into closed session, and then we will come back out and do a report out of closed session. And then we will do a formal adjournment of the meeting at that time. To my colleague commissioners on this, you should have received a separate Zoom link for our closed session. And if you haven't received that, can you please let Jamie know now before we all go off? So we are going to leave this meeting. The first 5 staff will stay on this call, on this Zoom link. We will go to an entirely new Zoom link. When we end our closed session, we will come back into this Zoom link and adjourn our meeting. I know that's a little bit of tech logistics, but could you let me know if anyone has a question with that or doesn't have?
Are we taking a quick break or are we going straight over? Can we take 5 minutes?
30 minutes.
Closed session will start at 2 p.m.
God, I didn't hear that. Thank you.
About a half an hour break, and it will not start any earlier than then.
Perfect.
perfect.
And as identified in the agenda, we are going into closed session under Government Code Section 11126A, which is regarding an appointment, employment, evaluation of performance or dismissal, discipline, or release of a public employee or complaint charged against a public employee. Public employees included persons exempt from civil service under Article 7, Section 4E of the California Constitution. I know I'm supposed to do that kind of a reading for the Brown Act. I didn't know if I was supposed to do that for Bagley Keene, and in the interest of everyone, wanted just to give that announcement. Any questions, logistic questions? Thank you. Look forward to seeing everybody on the other Zoom link at 2 p.m. And then for the first 5 team, thank you. We'll come back to this call and adjourn. And to members of the public, thank you very much for your participation and joining us today. And happy December and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.